buckle up.
Because it's going to be a long ride.
It's gonna be a wild ride.
Nobody cares, but we're going to tell you anyways.
This is Popcorn Chats. Do not fucking pause on us today.
It is definitely your turn to intro.
Are you sure?
Yes.
My hair is getting so long and I literally can't afford to cut it anytime soon, so somebody in LA is gonna have to cut it for me.
Dude, that's going to be more expensive out there.
No, I mean like
Oh, I was going to bring this dress out that I've literally been putting off getting dry cleaned. You know my pink dress?
that like looks really good on me. I wore it to formal for a frat, and then I wore it on my 21st birthday when I was in the Dominican.
I was not with you on either of those
Okay,
occasions.
well, I mean, you follow me on Instagram.
I'm
but-
sorry, I don't remember your outfit from
You don't-
4 years ago for your birthday.
You don't remember my iconic? That's fucking tragic.
That was 4 years ago,
Fuck
so-
that shit. Anyway,
So no, I'm so sorry.
I need to get it dry cleaned, but I'm not gonna have time to do it before I leave, and I'm not gonna get it dry cleaned out there because that just sounds like a fucking headache. So it's staying here. But who cares about that? Welcome back to Popcorn Chats. My name is Katie.
I'm MICHAE.
That was weird.
What was?
My
Because it wasn't.
name is-
Yeah, my name
That's
is.
not it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Popcorn Chats. I'm Katie.
And I'm MICHAE.
And we're back with our Euphoria coverage.
Coverage.
We're covering season 2, episode 5, baby. We're more than halfway through this season.
That makes me sad.
Do-do-do-do. Yeah, me too. And
this is what I look forward to now.
same. Also, we have been renewed for season 3 since our last taping. 3 cheers for season 3. Lilas, we love it. I would just like to start off by saying I think Zendaya definitely secured her Emmy nom / win with this episode, and we are going to break all of it down. This was fun. This was flirty. This was fulfilling as a fan.
Uh-huh.
We love that alliteration that I
Yes.
just did there. I'm battling a cold.
Trage.
We knew it was coming. My girlfriend was sick recently, and now I am fallen ill, but it's not Kobe, and that's good. That wasn't my check-in, but I just wanted to disclaim that I'm a little under the weather, so if I'm lackluster. that's
Okay, fair enough. I don't really have that much to check in about. Life is just kind of going as life is. Same old, same fucking old. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if anything has like happened to us collectively. We started our book club,
Yeah, we did.
so another thing to kind of
Fun.
like keep us in touch
Yeah.
once we part ways.
Yeah.
This is our last recording session together.
for the foreseeable future.
It's the end of an era of us sitting at this table with our
Yeah.
sunnies on.
Yeah.
Because that's been like almost a year now. Like since
Yeah.
May of this past year, we've been recording at this table pretty much every week. Yeah, it's been a really good time. This
It has
pod,
been.
once again, has gotten me through a dark period. But I mean, I don't know. This past year has really been like the best of my
Of your life.
not of my life. That's like a bold statement, but I think like of my recent years,
Okay.
it's been really nice being here with you.
Yeah.
Even though I'm always like, we're trapped in this godforsaken town.
Yeah.
There's a romantic essence to it.
Yeah.
I love all my friends here, but yeah, I'm moving in T-minus like 4 days.
Mhm.
I'm leaving, and it's getting really surreal. Like during the day, I was telling my mom that I feel like really excited and happy, and then at nighttime, I get the spookies.
Yeah.
I get it really down, really anxious. Like last night, I stayed at Corinne's, and I was like, I just miss my mom, and I just want to go home. And like whenever I'm with somebody, I'm like, I miss this person, or like, I don't know, I just want to like soak up the time I have with everybody. And part of me is like, I just want to go right now.
Yeah.
And then part of me is like, I wish I had just like one more month or
Yeah.
something. So it's very bittersweet.
That makes sense.
And yeah, I'm just trying to like live in the moment and enjoy everything. Get ready for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
It
It's
is.
been a long time coming.
Yeah.
But anyways,
'Tis wild.
enough of that. Let's get into this amazing episode.
Yeah, there were quite a lot of people on Twitter last night who were like, this episode was a dumpster fire. What are they doing? And I just briefly, before we even jump into the episode, kind of want to talk about the like popularity that Euphoria has had now this season. And then also the shift in like tone from people online. Because when Katie and I covered this for the first season, we didn't even cover it because we didn't have the podcast yet, but we covered it in 2 parts. And I feel like no one knew about Euphoria when we covered it the first time. None of our friends had watched it. It was not really like a big topic of conversation on Twitter, or definitely not as big. And I remember I went as Rue for Halloween the year that it came out, and no one knew who I was.
Right.
And now if I did that, people would like instant recognition.
Yeah.
And I feel like the pandemic, people had a lot of time on their hands. They probably like watched this and now are watching season 2. And now it's almost become like the popular thing now to like shit on the show, which I just don't really, if you don't like it, then I don't get why you watch it.
Right. I think there's a difference in like the TikTok trend of like people being like, when you're
forget you go to
Euphoria
those are so funny.
And why aren't you in uniform?
Like
some of that shit is funny.
And
it's like, that's our generation's like language that we all speak together.
Yeah.
Like Euphoria is taking over pop culture right now.
It is.
So like poking fun at it is one thing, because like people poke fun at the Hunger Games. People
like everything.
Like make jokes about something that is prominent in society. That's not what we're talking about. Obviously that shit I can't get enough of.
I was sending you so many memes last night. Like people are really funny with it.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Like that's not what we're saying, but I agree with you that there are a lot of people. And again, I don't even mind like the discourse on it of like there's not enough Black people in this show, but then it's like, do we want Black people being represented the way that these characters like getting into all the mess that they're getting into? I can't speak for the Black community, so I don't know, but I know I've seen a lot of discourse about that, and that's not necessarily being like this show sucks, but again, even that type of stuff I like reading about and engaging and getting people's opinions, but it's the people who are like the writing is bad and this is just bad, and
everyone hates Sam Levinson now.
Yeah, it's like you're tuning
understand.
in though every week and I don't really understand, and you're not like, you try writing a fucking show, like the pressure that comes off of season 1, 2, like I could never attacked it in the way that he has. Like if you think about it, the creators of the show are trying to capitalize after the success of the first season and maintain that show that everybody loved, but also like bring new elements to it, new characters, and like new and exciting plot twists and everything, and they're trying to like maintain the longevity of the show too, and they've succeeded in that getting to season 3. But like it's not just, there's so much that goes into making a show, and there's people's careers on the line. Like there's so many people making money off of this show now that you have to like factor in all of those people into every decision that is made about the show. They're not just making this show for you, Samantha, and like sorry that you're gonna be a little bitch and tweet like Sam Levinson is a horrible writer, but sorry,
I'd like to see you do better.
Right. Like,
okay, if he sucks, then let me see what you can do. And even when the second episode, we did not like that episode and we actively critiqued it, but I feel like we weren't just sitting here just being like, this show sucks, Sam Levinson sucks, which I mean, granted, like if that's your opinion, that's fine. Obviously everyone is entitled to their own opinion. It's just weird, that shift, that now it's become like so popular and so immersed in our pop culture right now that everyone seems to hate it. Yeah. And I just don't get it, vibes.
I think that's just inevitable though, unfortunately, when something is so popular and so
well, then it's
beloved.
Fun to be the person to be like, actually it sucks.
Yeah, and that actually isn't that fun. Like, I don't know, I think for your fucking self and quit trying to, like, if you genuinely don't like it, whatever, like this show obviously is not for everybody. Like clearly it's for a certain type of audience. If you're the type of person who really like shows like The Good Place, or like you probably aren't gonna really vibe with this shit, and that's fine. But to just be like, this is bad and like all this stuff, I don't think it's that type of show to be like, this is objectively bad.
No, I feel like it's gonna be that's not your taste.
That extreme of a stance, it's just kind of embarrassing for you.
Yeah, it's not like Grey's Anatomy the last few seasons where it's like objectively
or like Riverdale.
So anyway, I just wanted to point that out. I find that odd. And like Twitter last night was really funny. Like when I got on after the episode, I took like probably 30 minutes scrolling in bed just looking through all the tweets because people were saying like really funny shit. Yeah. But then I would see like sprinkled in there just being like, Zendaya must have run this whole episode because this one was good. And I'm like, okay, well, no, actually the reason that this one is really good is because Sam Levinson understands addiction. Yeah. So that's all him.
The impact it has on families, and like good for him for portraying that and not leaving that out of the conversation. conversation. Like, most shows don't even, content about addiction doesn't necessarily focus on the family impact in this realistic of a way. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's a fine line.
Yeah.
Discourse,
yeah,
critique, you know,
it's
to
just
each their own.
Yeah.
But it's like when something's popular, it's automatically going to get shit on. And I just hope that people involved, I'm sure they're not. I'm sure they're just like, fucking whatever. Well, I'm going to get my bag and go. But I hope the creators of this aren't like, oh no, people hate it.
I don't think Sam Levinson gives a fuck.
I want to just start off by saying that I am shocked, bewildered, perplexed that she was fine at the beginning of this episode. After last week's episode, I said with my entire chest that I thought Zendaya would be in the hospital, that we would be catching up with her after she overdosed, that she is dying because she snorted something at Elliot's house. She was drinking after snorting that stuff, and then she took 4 pills when she got home from her suitcase. Yeah, I'm not upset about it. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, so I don't really know, you know, what a person can survive, especially somebody who's like consistently using drugs the way that Rue does. But yeah, I was shocked, to say the least, that she was up and fine at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah, I didn't think that she was, like, a lot of people were convinced that she was dead, and I'm like, I really don't think they're gonna kill her off, especially mid-season at that. So I wasn't surprised by that. I wasn't, like, so sold on the, like, hospital theory. I was kind of like, yeah, I could see it going that way, but also I wasn't so, like, I was, like, 100% sure that that's where, like, I saw this going.
Right.
So I didn't necessarily care that she wasn't, like, unwell when we meet her. However, I did love that there were consequences to her actions.
Right.
And that we just got right into that. I will start by saying that this was one of my favorite episodes so far of this season. I'd say it might be my favorite episode.
Yeah, so far I would say 1, 3, and 5 are my favorites, and I told you that last night.
Yeah, some good episodes.
Last night's episode was great, especially the beginning. I mean, not even especially the beginning, but we had bombshell after bombshell in this episode, baby. First one, can we address it? When Jules and Elliot are sitting in the living room. Do we want to jump to that, or should we wait?
Let's wait. Let's hold on. Let's kind of go chronological a bit. The scenes between Rue and her mom, so dynamic.
Yeah.
They have such a chemistry. They have such a freedom between the two of them to go there, to get up in each other's faces, to get really nasty. And it's so believable to watch. And this is not an example, like Katie often says, like, yelling isn't acting.
Right,
this is not an example of that. Like, yes, they are yelling, but they are acting.
Yeah, and it's really, the actress who plays the mom is really believable in her pain and like frustration that she's feeling, and the whirlwind of emotions that she goes through. You know, she's angry at Rue, like just in this episode alone, but then also like in that first scene, the range of emotions that kind of goes across her face. She's angry, she's scared, she's upset, she's worried about Rue, she's worried about Gia, and in that moment when she goes and like lays over Gia, like it's just, she's really just acting on what she can do in the moment. I think she's not ignorant to the fact that this is going to have serious like traumatic effect on Gia, but she's like, in this moment, this child is priority number 1. Because she is like on the verge of killing herself. Sorry to touch you there. But then when she like lays over Gia to protect her, the one priority child is like freaking out and throwing shit everywhere, and she's protecting the other one. And it's just really incredible to see a mother in this position like go through it in such an authentic way. It kind of is similar. Did you ever see Beautiful Boy with Steve Carell and Timothée Chalamet?
No.
Steve Carell in that does a really good job of playing a parent of an addict, and I would say that it's comparable to the woman who plays Rue's mom in this.
I think it's her name Nika? Yes. And poor Gia in this whole situation. Poor Gia throughout this whole episode. I feel like if they don't explore more of her in these last 3 episodes, now that they have season 3 is the time for Gia to shine. That I feel like there's going to be so much emotional damage, for Gia to process. So much of Rue's actions, like even when later on in the episode, then when Gia and the mom are driving around looking for Rue, and her mom's like, can you please like get off your phone and help me look for your sister? And Gia just gives her a look. It's like, this is Gia's life, is like having to deal with this, and she's way too young to have to be experiencing all of this. And like the trauma of seeing your sister run out of the car like that. She has just seen so many things with Rue that there's gotta be some impacts that be explored.
And that's who you're supposed to be looking up to. And then for Rue to also say, like, you better become a surgeon, a brain surgeon or something, because mom's gonna be 0 for 2. Like, that pressure is already kind of, like, unspoken. And, like, when one child is, like, turning out the way that Rue is, you know? Gia probably already felt that, but then to have it, like, spoken into existence, I just can't imagine being in Gia's shoes and just how upset she must feel. And, again, the performance that the actress gave in this episode. So I felt it. I felt every single emotion that was within this home in the first sequence, and it kind of ran like the first 13 minutes was really almost like a one shot. It just seemed like
a nonstop
no
fight.
Cuts, no seconds to breathe. And after it was over, I was like, I need a second to decompress. Like, I told Mikhail to pause it because I was like, that was so much.
It was a lot.
Yeah,
both of them in that scene, fantastic. But can we shift our focus to the real star here?
Z baby.
Zendaya, bitch. One, if you don't get that Emmy, I don't know. But the quick changing between the raging and then the crying and the apologizing and then back to being angry was like a switch being flipped back and forth for, like you said, like 13 minutes of that fight. It was incredible to watch.
Yeah. And then how do you, like, trust an addict ever again after this? And, like, just how easily she lies and how manipulative she is, and just everything she's saying is she has that agenda to get high, to get drugs, to, like, curb the withdrawal symptoms. So I know that, like, a loved one in that moment has got to be thinking, what can I just do to help this person right now? But it's, like, got to be so exhausting and painful because it's like, this is just gonna go on forever, and how am I ever gonna trust this person again? And, like, I'm gonna have to rebuild all of this from the ground up. And Rue tells her mom and Gia in the car, I relapsed the second I got out of rehab. That probably wasn't very fun to hear.
No. Her going back and forth, the I don't recognize me either, or like, you don't recognize me, I don't recognize me, you hate me, I hate me, you wish I was different, I wish I was different. I think that's why I will literally never be able to hate this character, no matter what she does, what she says. There's just so much sadness and, like, self-loathing inside of her, and, like, she obviously does not want to be an addict, but she also doesn't know how to function without drugs. Even, like, Sam Levinson talking about pushing her likability, there are gonna be times, like, with Ali, and then, like, these sequences with her mom and, like, the things that she throws in her mom's face, and Jules that we'll hop to soon here. I will just never be able to hate her.
Yeah.
Like, she's so still, she's a redeemable character. She just hasn't gotten there yet.
That really goes back to season 1 and them. Like, if you just started watching and which I don't know why anyone would do this, but if you, like, just started watching season 2 without season 1, you'd probably hate Rue. But I think season 1 did such a good job of establishing this character and her likability, so that, yeah, I agree. It's, like, hard to dislike her. Obviously, like, last night I made the comment that I wanted her to get hit by a car. I do get very mad at her sometimes, but it's, again, I'm with you. Like, I do really love this character and I care for her and I want what's best for her, but I get so angry at her sometimes, just in the same way that I get so angry at myself. And I have really felt that intense, like, you hate, like, you're angry at me right now, promise you I'm angrier at myself. Like, you hate me right now, I promise I hate myself more. Like, I have felt that, and I think I see myself in Rue sometimes to a point where I, like, dislike her because of how much I see myself in her. And Zendaya released a statement last night about the character Rue and how she just hopes that we all kind of feel compassion for her. And I think she's just really throwing herself into this role to do good in the world. Like, you can just really tell her intentions in playing this character is not to get the awards and not to just, like, be this actress that's, like, pretty much the biggest actress in Hollywood right now. Like, her intentions are to play this character that is incredibly flawed, but also incredibly redemptive and lovable. And that can do a lot of good in the world, because if we're able to love Rue through all of this stuff, maybe we'll be able to, like, love each other through things. And that's kind of like a paraphrase of what her statement was last night. Those are not my words. Those are Zendaya's.
Well, and her note and the, like, behind the scenes thing, that her just talking about Rue and how, like, we need to kind of, like, see this through, and, like, that people can look at her as, like, kind of a sign of hope. I do think then that is going to point to how Rue's character will wrap up whenever the show ends, because we had said at the beginning of the season we could see it ending tragically and, like, Rue dying or just living a life as, like, constantly using, never getting clean.
Yeah.
But now I really think that with her saying that, especially with her being an executive producer, that she'll push to have some sort of like beacon of hope in Rue's line, even if it's not tied up in like a neat little bow of her living with like this magical life.
Yeah.
That we'll see like her on the right path when the show ends.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. Yeah. And also I just think too, Zendaya was just cast so perfectly in this role. Mm-hmm. Like, I would have never thought, like, looking at this character and looking at her before she did this, that would, like, work. Mm-hmm. But, does it work? She's literally astounding. I can't get over it.
Agreed.
Jules and Elliot. Yikes. Yeah. I didn't catch that was Jules' voice at first. Did you?
No.
It wasn't until then the mom was like, you're embarrassed now. Because Jules heard all that or something. I didn't put that together.
So that was Jules that said we flushed it down the toilet? Okay. I thought it was Gia.
I thought it was the mom.
Oh, okay.
I think we must have all heard different people.
I like how Jules really isn't in this episode so much except for the first bombshell of the episode, where we see her and Elliot and it is revealed after Rue did all that to try and be like, I'm just smoking a little weed. To be like, if me doing weed is me doing drugs, then fine. And then her mom is like, girl, shut up. Like, no, we know you have a whole suitcase.
That also had me so stressed because I'm like, Mom, you don't know she's about to literally be sold because you flushed her suitcase.
Yeah.
We'll still we'll get into that more, but anyways.
Yeah. Jules. I like how a lot of stuff was kind of answered in this beginning sequence. You know, we've been questioning what Rue's plan is with the suitcase, and now that plan, if she had a plan, it's botched, it's over, canceled. And now this whole like new issue with the suitcase, we'll see what's gonna happen. And this thing with Jules and Elliot, and the fact that Jules still loves Rue, at least as a friend, and for her to tell her mom, I'm glad that she did it. Just like Hunter Schafer said in the behind the scenes last night, it's one of the only mature things that she's done lately in this season.
Well, and like if that was you or if that was me, I feel like we would make the same decision that Jules does when you think that she's literally on the brink of death.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, Rue even acknowledged that herself, that she was like a week away from killing herself. So Rue understands what she's doing, but she's powerless to stop it. Or she's not powerless, but obviously it takes a lot more than just like deciding like, I'm gonna quit drugs.
There's several points in this episode where Rue is like attacking the people around her to kind of divert the attention away from her and her actions, and we can get into that more, but just in this initial part she's attacking her mom and Gia, and then it extends to Jules, and she just rips Jules to literal shreds, and it's like, I regret meeting you, like that's my biggest regret, and all this stuff. And then to Elliot, she's like, he's an addict, so don't believe a word that he says, and all this stuff. It's that finger pointing thing is very, I mean, that's an addict quality. That's like something that people do when they're struggling with addiction. You know, her mom made the statement like, you're not a good person, Rue. And that's coming from somebody who loves her the most.
Yeah.
Like, drugs are turning you into a bad person, and we hear the drug dealer lady later talking about what drugs does to your brain. And it's just like really tragic when you think about it like that. But yeah, she's like, you're not a good person. And then later at Cassie and Lexi's house, when she's like, do you feel good about yourself right now? Like making everybody feel like shit. This can't make you feel good.
Yeah.
But it's just like that pursuit of drugs has no end, really.
Which, to be fair, I'm not trying to like just defend Rue because I love her, but when she pointed out that Elliot's an addict, she's also not wrong. I just think he's a more functioning addict than she is.
Yeah.
It is kind of like you can't really call her out for doing drugs when you literally do the same thing. Obviously, they're affecting you differently and the people around, but still. And when Rue laid into Jules, Rue, out of every single person in this show, the one person that she has never said a bad thing about was Jules. Like, she has had Jules on a pedestal since the first time that she met her. Like, she held Jules in higher regard than every single person in her life. So to see her rage at her like that was really hard to watch. And I also really liked Hunter Schafer's performance in that too, of just like her trying to stay calm, and like you can see like as she's literally like every single word that Rue's throwing at her, it is affecting her, but she's trying to just like process in her mind like, she doesn't mean it, she doesn't mean it, she doesn't mean it.
Yeah.
But when someone's up in your face yelling at you like that, it's hard to just deflect all of that. But once again. I did kind of like that Rue got to get some of that anger out about Jules leaving her at the finale of the first season, because I feel like that was very unresolved and she never got to let that out. And also I feel like it's very fair for her to be mad at Jules about that still, that she did leave her when Rue needed her. I mean, granted, Jules made the decision that she felt that was best for her, but that doesn't mean that then just because you're making the best decision for you, that doesn't hurt other people. And I did like... I liked that she got it all out there. Like, I feel like she purged herself of maybe any hidden resentment that she had against Jules. And some of the stuff Jules did kind of need to hear a little bit, but other parts of it were just way too much. It sucks to see, but also I really loved that scene because it was just like...
Yeah, it was great.
For my personal enjoyment, I love it. For what it does to the characters, don't love it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I think it's awesome that, you know, it shows a lot of things, and like this episode itself shows that addicts really do, and Rue knows exactly what to say to divert the attention again away from her and her flaws, because this show, we know as audience, everyone has their flaws. Rue is not the only flawed character within this set of people. They all have made very questionable decisions. And although this episode is hyper focused on Rue and her flaws, and then she is like deflecting onto other people, and we kind of want to just be like, no, Rue, you need to deal with your shit. We've talked about before, when you love someone so much and when somebody loves you, they know exactly what to say to really rip you down and hurt you. And I mean, Rue is right. Jules loves to be loved, and I think she, like Joe March, cares more to be loved. But she keeps saying, I love you to Rue. And I don't doubt that she loves Rue. But I do agree with Rue that she wants to be loved and needs to be loved, and has gravitated towards Rue because no one has ever loved her like as unconditionally as Rue has. So, and Rue knows that. So then for her to say, I hate you and I never want to see you again, that is going to hurt Jules the most. And she knows exactly what to say to hurt her, because Jules has hurt Rue by taking her drugs away.
Yep.
And
she's potentially sold your friend into slavery.
Into sex
slavery. Last kind of note that I have about the first part, so after she gets done raging to Jules, and then again when then it cuts to, so then we stay on Jules and Elliot, but then we hear in the background her mom like taking her into the hallway, and you hear her bawling and then being like, I didn't mean it. And then she says like, I just miss Dad. And again, not an excuse, but like I understand, like, how does a child process losing their parent like that, especially when we already know that she has some other issues going on, to then lose that on top, to then lose your dad on top of that. Right. I like that we are exploring more of like how her dad's death really did affect her and her addiction. Like, we've gotten more of that this season, which I think again is just another reason wwhy I will never be able to hate her, is because I understand why she is the way that she is, and it's not for no reason, and it's not just because she's like, oh, drugs are fun, and like I like the feeling that it gives me. It's like she doesn't know how to process her emotions without them.
I love the moment when Rue's mom is like, I'm sorry, baby. After Rue just like rips Jules a new one, like fucking roasts the shit out of the girl. Sorry about it, honey. She's like, I'm sorry, baby. And then goes after her daughter. Like, that was such a tender and sweet moment. I love the mom in this episode.
I love the mom. And I remember listening to this one podcast when we did the first season, or when we covered the first season, and the episode, and the podcasters were like, oh, and then we saw the mom hit Rue, and it's like, and instantly they turned against the mom, and were like talking about how such a shitty mother she is. And like, again, we have the mom slapping Rue in this, which is like, literally no, but also in the heat of the moment like that, like, I can't look at the mom and be like, you're a monster.
Yeah, and Rue's like destroying their house.
Yeah.
And like putting Gia in danger.
Yeah, so not like gonna justify not justifying her actions.
Altercations.
But again, like, I look at that, and again, like, I can't look at the mom and look at her and like hate her for that either. Yeah. And I don't think Rue does. Rue probably doesn't even remember it.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyways, that's all that I had for that like 13 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about with that?
No.
Okay.
Can we move into like the car?
Yeah.
And when they convince her to get into the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the muffled conversation that we're hearing and how we only get to hear parts of it, and then some of it is muffled and we're like outside of the car, and just Rue talking about her odds of beating this addiction and how hopeless she herself feels, and it's just like, you guys should feel hopeless too. Like, I don't get why you're even like bringing me to the hospital, because you would be better off just like accepting the fact that 5% of people beat this. And her mom's like, you can do it, you can do it, and she's like, well, every mom says that, even the ones who like bury their children. That one hit deep. And just Gia being there, like, crying, like...
The mom shouldn't have taken Gia.
Right.
Leave Gia at home.
But
Gia's old enough to sit at home.
I feel like Gia would have insisted on coming. I don't know.
Yeah. But I feel like you gotta draw the... Like, your daughter is already exposed to so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, love getting Storm. So, like, I'm fine with having her in more scenes.
Yeah.
We only want more Gia here. But it is also, like, for Gia's well-being, maybe she doesn't need to see her sister almost get hit by a car.
Yeah. The waves that she's going through, and I like how it's very on brand for Rue's character, because just like in the first season, when she was like, yes, I'm so on board to get on this train and leave and like make this impulsive decision, and then she sits with that decision for a little bit and is like, no, I'm gonna have a panic attack because that's fucked up and I can't do it. It's similar, I mean, not the same at all, but with this situation when her mom's like, can we go to the doctor? And she's like, yeah, because she just burned this bridge with Jules, so now she's gonna do what her mom would like her to do. But then she sits with that decision and is thinking about getting clean and the symptoms of withdrawal and everything. I can't do this. And she literally like gets out of the car and is running through traffic, but she's apologizing the entire time. Like, I'm sorry. And she apologizes so many times throughout this episode. She's like knocking shit over. She's stepping on people's barbecue, running through Euphoria town, causing a damn destructive path everywhere she goes. And she's always like, I'm sorry. Like, but again, baby, the pursuit of drugs beats out every time.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who she hurts. I don't doubt that she is genuinely sorry for fucking up those people's barbecue and landing on their table. And stealing from that couple. Like,
the more you say you're sorry, the less it means. And she's going to find that over and over and over again when she keeps on going back. Like, hurting someone, apologizing. That cycle is going to wear out on those people eventually.
Yeah, but I don't doubt that she means it every time she says it. And she maybe doesn't, like, recognize how much she's hurting people in the moment. But, like, what she did to Ali, I don't think she, like, understood the gravity of what she was saying in that situation. No. But, like, Rue she's sick. So she's going to continue to do these things and say sorry, but it's not going to really mean anything. But I still think she means it.
Yeah, I think she means it each and every time. And you can tell by, like, even you could look at it sometimes when she's, like, crying to her mom then right after raging, that it's like trying to manipulate her, and that very well could be. But then I do think that at the end, after she rages at Jules and when she is like apologizing and she's like, I didn't mean it, I truly believe her. Like, I don't think then in that moment right there she's trying to manipulate her mom. At the end, in the middle, questionable.
I think she wants to be different. She
wishes
does. She was different.
She literally hates herself.
Yeah, but when you're an addict, you don't want anything more than drugs. And that's just point blank, period. That's the way it is.
Yep.
After she gets out of the car and is running through the streets, she goes to Cassie's home. And again, I just love how she's running through Euphoria town and kind of just like wreaking havoc wherever she goes. And I love how all the girls give her hugs. I can't say this enough, but I just love the women cast. And when they all get together, it just really warms my heart.
It's magic.
Like in episode 3 when Cassie comes into the bathroom and she's like, hey, Ruru.
They're
kill me.
So
like, I love
cute.
it. I fucking love it. And then when she's like, when they're all like, you relapse and all this stuff, like, they're all worried about her.
Even Maddy, who it's like, I don't necessarily think has a super strong bond with Rue, but more like by default, she's like, I'm gonna support you.
Yeah, and she goes and gives her a hug as soon as like she sees her. And just Lexi is funny too. She's like, well, don't get me sick. I have rehearsal. And Rue's like, I can't get you sick. And she's like, well, colds are literally contagious. So
okay, I love Lexi. I love that we got that little moment. But the fact that Kat had like even less lines than Lexi did in this episode Sam Levinson, we're gonna have some fucking beef because
Yeah.
do not reduce my bitch Kat to being like vape girl status in this season.
Yeah.
I'm so pissed so far that she's been cut out. Loved that she was in the scene, but again, she's only there as like a side character.
Yeah.
She has no involvement in the actual plot movements in this scene whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that makes me mad. I was saying this, I love Kat's character. Katie also loves Kat's character. And it's not even just that like I miss her plot points, but also the fact that you take the literally one plus size character that we have on TV right now and then just like completely reduce her to nothing. I don't fucking like it. There was such an emphasis on Kat in the first season and such a strength about Kat's character. And then to just completely have her be nowhere.
Yeah, and be like the side character
Oh my
within this
God.
plot of Cassie, Nate, and Maddy.
That she has no involvement in besides being their friend.
Yeah.
It makes me mad because I'm like, you can't give us this like badass plus sized character that has plot outside of just her weight and like, because then that's what like all fat characters are reduced to on screen is like them being the fat character.
Yeah.
So then you can't give her all of this character and all of these qualities to then completely strip her of all that this season. It's making me mad.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
like that whole
like
camming
it.
situation, don't you fucking dare be like, oh, it was just a phase. Babe,
No.
that no.
There was such an empowerment that Kat had through that camming.
Yeah.
Oh,
So like I really want to go back and rewatch the first season to satiate my cat cravings.
Yes.
My kitty cat cravings.
We loved Kitty Cat.
What the fuck?
Ugh, it makes me really
She was in the
mad.
promo for next week. Her and fucking Ethan's bitch ass. I'm ready for her to dump him and really have her moment to shine. Where's her own storyline? I want her to have her own storyline outside of this bogus ass stupid relationship and this bogus ass like self-love journey that again, every plus size person is reduced to and everything that they're in. Like there's more of a storyline outside of that. Please. Who was the dude with the creepy voice?
Yes.
I want to know.
Don't reduce plus size characters. Their involvement, first of all, but then also them to just being like, oh, we're just gonna have a self-love storyline.
Yeah, and she had such a presence too, even in that
my
scene,
God.
like with her reaction to finding out that her friend is cheating or sleeping with her other friend's like ex.
Yeah. Justice for Barbie.
She provided so much in that scene, just being there, and it's like, I want more.
Yes.
And I don't care what beef you have. Put it aside.
Yeah.
Leave it at home. Leave it at the door.
Yep. I am Team Barbie over here.
Same.
I love you. Babe, I miss you.
Me too.
I'm sorry.
Injustice.
If you are not in the third season, throwing hands.
Injustice.
Yep. Okay. The real bomb though of this scene.
Or of this episode, really, truly.
So fucking great.
Yes.
We talked about how we would like to see the reveal happen.
In this episode. We were hoping that it would happen in season 5 or in episode 5.
Yes. And we had talked about how we were like, how could it possibly come out after Cassie's outburst?
Yeah.
And maybe
and
like
it had to top that.
Yeah.
Because they teased us with that and then it was a fake out.
Is like maybe Maddy gonna walk in on them. But again, we kind of had that in the first episode. For Rue to just blow her shit up on the spot when Cassie's just trying to be nice and helpful. She's trying to just be like a little positive Polly over there. And for Rue to just be like, so how long have you been fucking Nate?
Yeah.
Icon.
Yes.
Rue, I really loved your messiness in this moment.
There was no better way to have that be revealed.
No. It was
and again,
so
just her like running throughout this town, wreaking havoc. And all these people trying to like stage an intervention. I mean, that is again, like if people tried to have an intervention with me, I would just start airing out everybody's shit and run away.
I would too. It's relatable. Like if someone came at me, I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
So again, like Rue's actions, I understand.
It makes total sense and it was the perfect way for it to go down and just everybody's performance in that moment. I'm literally about to get violent. No, we don't need you to get violent because we're trying to have an intervention right now. Like
Cassie's mom was great in this scene.
And for her to be like, she's not well. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because everybody, like Lexi being like, oh, are you sick? It's like, no, bitch. Your drug addict friend is doing drugs as she has been this entire fucking time.
Everyone is kind of like dumb.
Yeah.
With Rue's
I'm glad
addiction.
that the mom was finally like, she's not doing well.
Yeah.
Like,
Straight
it kind of alluded to the fact, like, everybody's on board now. We all know that this bitch is
unwell.
relapsed and has been relapsed.
Yeah.
And let's have an intervention.
Yeah. But also at the same time, there's so much going on then in that moment when she says that. And like Cassie's mom trying to keep peace. Rue's mom trying to talk to her. Rue just trying to deflect everything. Maddy dealing with this reaction. Cassie trying to lie. But honey, lie better.
Yeah.
You're a bad liar.
Stop crying.
Stop crying. Also, the change in episode from the last time that we see Cassie in episode 4 is when she's being drug up the staircase after puking in a hot tub.
Yeah.
Hot mess express up the stairs by her mother. To then popping up in this scene being like, it's okay. Just take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Cassie, did you do
Yeah.
in the span of this time? But then for it to all come out, I'm so happy that it's aired out there now and to see what we get regarding the Kat, Maddy, Nate situation.
Yes, I'm soups pumped about it. So pumped, and I loved the way that it was revealed.
Yes. And Maddy, just once again, Alexa Demi, I love you. You are the perfect Maddy, and her reaction was great.
Yeah.
My next one after that is when she goes to see Fez, because she runs from Cassie and Lex's house
Yeah.
to Fez's house.
Okay.
When Fez says, you want some Pepto-Bismol or something,
Yeah.
protect Fez at all fucking costs. He is exempt from the World War III draft, okay? Angus Cloud is not to be touched in any way, shape, or form. I love Fez.
Me too.
So much. And again, he just has this unconditional love that then seeing Rue hurt him and Ali, I feel like just hits different than when she's hurting anyone else. Like even Jules, even her mom, like yes, obviously that's painful to watch them, but I don't know why it's just so different with Fez and Ali.
Yeah.
I think maybe because they have literally no stake in the game except that they just like care about her. They're not her mother, they're not her sister, they're not her girlfriend. They are just like two outsiders that love and care about her. That seeing her hurt them hurts me.
Yeah.
Not grandma's pills.
Not grandma's pills. Leave those be. And then for him to have to just like pick her up and throw her out of love.
I know.
Again, it was very reminiscent of that scene in season 1 where he closes the door on her. I feel for this man. Like this drug dealer with a heart of gold, baby. I never thought I would be saying it, but protect him. I agree. I have nothing to add really to what you said.
And I love that Angus Cloud live tweets the episodes. Like he's a fan.
Yes.
Fucking iconic.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I'm super excited for his film that he is creating. And Sam Levinson is executive producing. Yes.
Lilas. Angus Cloud we will be covering.
Yes.
Come on the pod. Rue's back then running around.
Yeah.
Or after she gets kicked out of Fez's, she ends up in these random people's house.
Yeah.
Stealing.
Yeah.
Doing the most. Also, how she cracked that safe.
Yeah, what the fuck? God. The dogs, too. Just, like, how she became friends with the dogs.
But how did she get away from those people?
I don't. Yeah. I think she just, like, scared them and then, like, ran away.
Probably.
My heart was pounding. They really took me through the ringer in this episode with my anxiety.
Yeah.
She was out of control.
Yeah, she really was.
What? I don't think I took my anxiety medicine this morning.
Oh no. Or Dable. Oh no, your brain.
Oh no.
It's broken.
My chemical imbalance.
Someone needs to make that instead. No, my chemical imbalance. And then we get Rue running all over. So I don't remember what takes place first. If she goes to the... No, she's running from the cops first. Yeah. Which cops? Why the fuck is it your business if she's walking around? Why is that a crime?
Yeah.
And why do you immediately start chasing her when she doesn't want to talk to you?
Why is running from the police incriminating?
When you're not doing anything. It'd be different if you just shot someone on the street and you ran away from them when you committed a crime. But, I mean, she did just steal someone, but they don't know that. She's just standing on a street corner.
It's a free country and you don't owe the police answers to anything. And that is my personal opinion, but also that should just be, like, we shouldn't have to, like, tell these people anything. They're not in charge of us. They work for us.
They didn't bring her down to the station for questioning.
No,
they
cab.
Yeah, she was just on the street. And then really you're putting in the most... How many people's property did you damage because you made her run and then now you're chasing her? I don't blame Rue for this. I blame the police.
Yeah.
But I did kind of like, when she stepped on the grill, we were like, oh my god, a live grill.
Yeah, she like sparked the flame.
Yeah.
I really liked the shot when it was like slow motion and her hair was flipping and she had to like make the decision to run through the traffic. One of my last notes, Rue makes the comments a lot. I just want to die. Just let me die. I'm 1 week away from killing myself, yada, yada, yada. But then she'll say, like, in moments like that, when she realizes she has to dodge in and out of traffic to avoid the police, she's like, please God, don't let me die. And when she gets to the drug dealer's house and the drug dealer offers her morphine and she's like, is it safe? So it's like, again, Rue has that self-preservation instinct still, which I think is meant to provide us with hope. And I appreciate that kind of like contradiction within her character of just wanting to be dead and also caring whether she lives or dies, because I think that's very relatable. And I don't care to expand on that, but
I do think
it's interesting.
It's interesting though when she's in like the face of like immediate danger like that then she doesn't have that thought, because I think about that the same way when I'm like in a movie theater and I get sketched out because I think someone might be there to like do some bad things.
Yeah.
Immediately then I'm like, oh my god, dear God, like don't let me die here.
Yeah.
But then I'll be in my car on the way home and be like, fuck.
Yeah.
So I do, yeah. I get that. The drug dealer lady. So she shows up at her house. This drug dealer lady, I don't have a read on this character, and I don't think we're supposed to. I don't think we're supposed to have kind of an idea of who she is. But I like how she talked about being a normal person and then becoming addicted to Oxy, and how she's like, I had like a family. I was a school teacher. My family could have been in a Sears catalog, and then I had surgery. I got prescribed Oxy. I didn't realize it was addicted until I ran out. And I think that maybe I'm just like more like it's on the forefront of my mind right now, the parallel to that, because I just read Avicii's biography. If you don't know who Avicii is,
did you finish it?
Too bad to you. Yes, I did.
Wow.
And it's talked about in there how his addiction got started, and it was because he was prescribed painkillers over the counter by doctors, and then when he would go back in with more issues, their solution was to prescribe him more pills. And they just kept on giving him these pills like over and over again, like every single problem that he went in for, they fixed it with a pill or some kind of painkiller. And this was before America like kind of realized how addictive Oxycontin was. And I think kind of similar to this lady, like he didn't go in there searching for drugs, but then when he was giving them, then he realized that he couldn't really go without them.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a very prominent thing in our country, is like the looseness that painkillers are given, or like especially used to be.
Yeah.
Maybe they put more of a cap on that now, but that it is so easy to get addicted to those, and that they're given out so freely. That's like scary.
Yeah.
Because that could happen to literally any single person then.
Right.
So I did like that. I thought that humanized her a bit, because it is like, how did you become a drug dealer? Like you don't seem like the drug dealing type lady. So to see that, however, when her and Rue were having that conversation, it felt like she was looking out for her. Yeah, she's a businesswoman and she's obviously going to demand Rue give her money back. But I did think when she was talking about like how it changes your brain and stuff, I felt like she did care about Rue in that moment. But then when she pulled out the morphine when Rue was in the bath before even like Rue asked for it, that felt
sinister.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
The whole setup of that did. And then oh my God, watching her stab it into her arm. And she made like a bunch of pokes in her arm. I don't know if you have to do that or if she just did that, but oh my God.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was really that now I don't think she has goodness about her. I feel like she is going to be more of a sinister presence.
Yeah.
Fez may just be our drug dealer heart of gold for the show.
For sure. No, I don't think this woman is safe.
No.
At all. And I think Rue's involvement with her is going to become very problematic, and I think it's going to be problematic for people who aren't Rue. I'm worried about Fez, and I'm worried about Gia. With this now debt that Rue owes. And I'm worried about Rue's mom and just like how the danger that her family's going to be in now. And I'm also worried that I feel like the fact that Ali saw the suitcase implicates him in a way. Like, I feel like that, as a storyteller, could have been Sam Levinson being like, he's going to be involved in this somehow, and he's going to take the fall, or, like, do something to help Rue with that suitcase in some way. Because why did she go to that NA meeting with the fucking suitcase, if not to like have the story like connect Ali and the suitcase together. I think that would be a good storytelling tactic, to have either Ali or Fez have to take the fall, or Gia. Some innocent is going to be impacted by this suitcase situation.
Yeah, I think so. I think either Fez is going to get involved and try to pay it off, but then the drug dealer is going to pull some shit like Mouse does and then like double the price or something and put Fez in a bad position. And also Mouse's baby mama, don't we have a problem with that?
Yeah.
Like potentially facing Fez. And I didn't really think about that with Ali, but what if he does? Oh, yeah. I can't see anything bad happening to those two. I mean, like I can envision it, but I can't see that happen.
Yeah, I think that the seeds are there for it to take that route. I also see, you know, her mom or Gia being hurt or affected. I've heard people speculating that they're going to show up
to the house,
at the house and think that Gia is Rue and kill Gia or hurt Gia or take Gia. And I think that would be a pretty like dramatic thing that would kind of take the show in a direction that I'm not sure they need to go in, but I think an innocent is definitely going to be negatively impacted by Rue's
by the suitcase decision.
Yeah.
Rue, I hate that she did that in the first place. I think her worst decision this season.
Yeah.
My last note that I have is when Rue is in the bathtub at the drug dealer's house. And I do love that we get a scene of Rue making, you should say like a rampage of Rue making horrible decisions, but kind of like the one leading up to, or the one final one that we see is her accepting the morphine.
Yeah.
That we see that like a very horrible decision. But then it cuts to her in the bathtub as like an innocent child.
Yeah.
And being excited about being a big sister and then grieving at her dad's funeral and just those shots of her being like a young innocent child. I think that again, it just paints such a picture and reminds us of who Rue once was and that Rue hasn't always been like this.
Yeah.
And hopefully that gives us hope that she won't always be like this.
Yeah. And I think it's also like there's no archetype for someone who becomes a drug addict. Like you said, it could literally happen to anybody, especially the way that narcotics and painkillers are pushed onto people in this country and in this world. You aren't a bad person. Drugs turn you into a bad person. Rue was not a bad person. Drugs literally changed her brain chemistry, as the drug dealer was talking about.
Yeah.
And has now made her, again, like, is she a bad person? She is. In this moment, she's making really bad decisions that are affecting a lot of people. But just like we've said so many times with this show, there's no black and white character. Everybody is within that gray area.
Yeah.
Whether it's, you know, Cassie or Nate or Cal or Rue or the mom. You know, everybody's just doing what they gotta do, what they think they need to be doing in the moment. No one is completely good and completely bad. They've all made good decisions and they've all made bad decisions. I would say Jules making the decision to tell Rue's mom about the suitcase, good decision. I would say Jules choosing to cheat on Rue with Elliot, bad decision. Is Jules a good person? I don't know. Is she a bad person? I don't know. She's a person.
Yeah, just like everyone else's.
Yes.
So, preview for next week. We did one of our outstanding questions. What's Maddy gonna do with the tape?
Yeah.
I think we might get some answers next week with
keep
that.
touching your booty.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's more my hip. It's okay.
Okay.
I think we might see that because we saw her laying on her bed holding the tape, plotting.
How's she gonna ruin Nate's life?
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see her just rock some shit.
Yeah.
Next week.
Have your redemption.
Yes. Some outstanding things. Again, Kat, where are you? MICHAE, where are you? The tape. Cal, where's Cal after his meltdown?
Yeah.
And the third brother.
Yeah.
Still looking for answers for that.
Mouse's baby mama. We got that outstanding. What's going to happen with the drug dealer and you know, they're coming after Rue. Where are Jules and Elliot now within their I don't care about that as much as the other things you just listed, but we're just talking about questions that we have with the 3 episodes that we have left of this season. What's going to be answered, what's not going to be answered, what's going to be added to this clusterfuck that we already have going on. Where are Jules and Elliot's relationship
And Rue doesn't know that they cheated.
I feel like she kind of does.
Do you think so?
I feel like that's what led her to be like, you're fucking dead to me. Because she was like, she said something about Elliot in that, she was like, why do you believe him? Or like, why do you care what he thinks or something? And she like looked at him and he kind of like looked at her and she was like, you're fucking dead to me or something.
Oh,
and she was like,
okay.
you're a whore.
I have to watch that back.
After that. I don't know if Rue knows. But yeah, where are Rue and Jules now? What's going to happen with that situation? Are they going to toxically get back together? Or are they going to, there's
I
just
feel like
so
they're going to
much.
end the season apart once again.
Lexi's play.
Yeah.
What's going to happen with that?
Let's get into that. There's still a lot outstanding that I will be interested to see how they tie it up because they didn't know that they were going to have a third season. I mean, maybe they had an inkling that they were like, we could tackle this in season 3, but like, let's kind of set it up enough that we could like go without it this season. That I will be interested to see how they wrap things up.
Yeah, it's all very exciting, ladies.
But loved the episode. I thought it was great.
Yeah, me
and
too.
it like had me on edge. Like when I went to bed last night, I couldn't like settle. You know, even when I was reading, I never felt settled.
Yeah.
For a long time after.
Yeah, I took a NyQuil last night.
Did you? Oh,
I'm sickly.
Yeah, judge.
Yeah, so we'll be back again next week. I will be on my quest across the country when we record, or possibly.
Oh yeah, you'll be recording from some random ass place probably.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be watching Euphoria in Arizona, Flagstaff. And then if we record Monday, I'll be arriving in LA.
Exciting.
But yeah. So we'll see. But things are changing. But the pod is ever constant.
The pod is the one constant in our lives. Everything else changes, but the pod is always there.
Yes. Always and forever. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to support Michaela and I, the best thing you could do is going to the listener support tab on Anchor, either the app or the website. It really helps us out if you would like to donate to us. It helps us continue making these episodes. And yeah, that's really it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We post every episode on our YouTube channel every week, and we also do live reactions on there and other funny videos and content. Subscribe to Michaela's individual YouTube channel, Oh Hey It's MICHAE, and my individual YouTube channel, Your Girl KT. Everything is listed in the description of this episode wherever you're listening/watching. We love you guys, and we'll see you next week for episode 6.
Fucking Lilas.
Lilas.